Hey guys, welcome to the Retro Gaming Junction. This is Camilio and we're live on Twitch pretty much every day, 8 PM Eastern Time. We're continuing our game of Final Fantasy. Some epic music. This guy's the only tough one. The other ones are easy. We're fine, right? Oh, no more cure? Okay. Let's explore a little bit before going to town. Are we slowed or what? Are we on stop? Are we paralyzed? That seems to be paralyzed. I thought it was cursed. I thought I saw them attack. No, they don't attack at all. They're paralyzed. Yeah, let's try to do it. I don't think I will. Some people will die. There's that. Oh my, okay, they're really, how do you prevent that? Oh, I understand now why there was a mod to soft reset the game. I didn't install it. I thought it was fine. You can just go into configuration and... But no, if you're stuck like this, you have to wait it out. So these zombies, these ghasts are really dangerous if this is really... Oh, I unparalyzed myself. Wow, was that like 200 damage? What? Come on! There you go. Okay. Wow. This was my most recent save? How can this be? Oh, I guess last stream I just entered the town. Yes, this is the town. Whoa! Okay, these guys are dangerous. Oh, wow, it doesn't even kill them. Okay, splitting my attack like that wasn't the best. Let's try this, this, and this. Nice. Okay. Not in the castle. Hellfire. I just don't know what we can do. Please help our prince. Which money do we have? I'll wait. Yeah, exactly. This might be more important. No, not even this. I want to see white magic first. I'm a sage. When the time is right, the future is revealed to me. I shall wait patiently until then. Iron armor. Copper armlet, super expensive. Iron shield, that's cheap. Leather cap. Helmet. Ah, I bought 3 of those? Shit. Now I remember why I used to start at the bottom. Hey, Skotsky, Final Fantasy? Yeah, Final Fantasy. I think so, yeah. Maybe not up to 13 or 15. I mean, that 15 one kind of looks interesting. I'm a big fan of Final Fantasy. I don't talk about it much, but yeah. I played and finished 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's it. So I never even played 2, 3. And that's about it, I guess. Just one of those. For the mage, because I don't know, it's always the mage that's problematic. Maybe I can sell some stuff. Organized here. View description. Oh, X is this. I'm ready for battle. That's what I want, right? I want the attack defense. I don't really care about armor made of thinly armored iron. Like 4, 5, 6, 7, and 9. Oh, I really like 4, 6, and I mean 7's good. I like 8. You kind of skip that. Most people don't like 8. I like it. I have really fond memories about it. A lot of nostalgia for Final Fantasy 8, weirdly enough. More so than 7 in my case. It's just the way life has been. It has a special place in my heart, which 7 doesn't really. I love Final Fantasy 7, and it's a game that I played like one summer alone. I didn't do all that all summer, but and on my computer I just had like my Voodoo 2, so I was all excited. It was a great game. And Final Fantasy VIII is a game that my friend used to play, and I used to watch him, and I used to just like watch snippets of it, a kind of a trailer thing. I didn't know what the fuck was going on, but every time he was playing, it was always interesting. Really like the monsters in the game. Anyways, it's really weird. It's really Final Fantasy VIII is fucked up. I don't know, I played 9 and completely forgot about it 2 months afterwards. It was a very forgettable experience. It was very by the book and boring, in my opinion. But I totally understand why people loved it, because yes, it was a throwback to the old Final Fantasy style. And then they kind of, you do realize they did that. I don't know if people did like 9. I think people liked 9. But with Windows 10, with Windows 10, that's my job coming to me. It's with Final Fantasy X, they kind of went back to Final Fantasy VIII style. Like Final Fantasy IX comes out like a sore thumb. It's like 6, 7, 8, 10. I didn't play 11. 13 as 12 also as a style very much like 7, 8, and 10. More futuristic, more cyberpunkish. And trying to do stuff kind of out of the box, because if you look at almost every single Final Fantasy, they try to push things, to try things. Sometimes it was a success, sometimes it wasn't a success. And I like companies that do that. Because then you have like, what, 15 Final Fantasy, maybe more. And there's for everybody in there. Some are more story driven, some people will prefer that style of gameplay, or that style of like the combat, for example. The combat is always different from, not always, but it seems to be pretty different from game to game. I mean, 4, 5, 6 is kind of very similar. Anyways, it's pretty powerful. You should give them a try. You'll be surprised. I guess starting from 7, they decided to go all like crazy with some of the stuff. Like, to be honest, my favorites are before that. I mean, I don't like the fact that like Final Fantasy VII is only 3 characters. It's a much smaller world. It looks big, but it's really not. And yeah, I love the story. I like the story. I like the story of a lot of the Final Fantasy games. That's why I love them, for the story. I have all of these. I don't need any of these. Yeah, I never played 10. I watched it a lot. Again, same friend played Final Fantasy 9 and 10. And Final Fantasy 10, I loved watching the cutscenes. But apart from that, I was like, what the fuck, man? I didn't understand anything. Even when he explained it to me, I was like, what? I was like, usually I'm not. Whoa, that's expensive. This is level 4. Where's my level 3? Where's my level 3 magic? This is level 4 magic? Makes no sense. Oh wait, there's 2... There's 2 black magic? I forget that I can do that. Oh yeah, it was right there. I didn't enter it or what? Shit, this is a big town. It's a gravestone. It's a gravestone. It's a grave. Here lies Link. Okay. Wow, was this supposed to be like the Zelda killer? I mean, it's a good game, but oh, we have no money. Restore HP to one ally. Restores complete HP. Deals damage to all undead. Okay. Reduces fire damage by half for the entire party. Restores a little HP to the entire party. Oh, I like those. Maybe cure Diara and heal. No money for this. Okay, so I got the items I wanted to get. Let's save. Let's explore the castle. The Dark Elf King Asta stole into the castle, and placed a curse on our prince. Then Astos carted away the castles. Carted away. The dwarves live in a cave on the western edge of the Elden Sea. They're a friendly bunch. The prince has slept under Astos' curse for 5 years now. There must be a concoction that could rouse one who sleeps so... But where? Dark Elf Stalker. The treasure room has been secured with a mystic key. Oh yeah, I want that mystic key. So we went east and there was nothing. Bunch of zombies. And it's this, if you played the original, it's like, that's what you remember, right? It sounded epic like this when I played. I don't remember the overworld music as much, but the fighting music, I didn't think it was so engraved in my mind. Okay, this is gonna be hard. Okay, you can one-hit kill this guy. I don't know if... Yeah, you can... Oh my god. Yeah, we need to kill the blue ones. But I'll do less damage if I attack in the back row. Fuck it. Maybe one of each here. Just to get at least rid of those. Yeah. I'm so excited. Yeah, I'm excited. I don't know if I'm super excited. I'm interested. I'm in. That's what I said. It said Devolver Digital. I said, oh, no. It's like, what, a 1 minute preview? Trailer teaser. Somebody posted it on my Discord, and so... Oh no, I need to focus here. Attack this guy. This guy. Yeah. So it's like Return of Monkey Island. I'm like, I really don't care, by the way, because it's always shit. I have no hope. And then it's the Devolver Digital. I'm like, oh, Devolver Digital, okay. I'm looking. I might be interested. And then it said Ron Gilbert. Written and then a game by Ron Gilbert. I was like, oh, and then written and developed by Ron Gilbert. Well, before that it said like Game Box or something. Ron Gilbert's Game Box. I was like, oh, it comes from the studio that. No, it's literally him that did it. It doesn't mean it's gonna be good. By the way, it's not because it's the guy that made. The guy is like. This is 30 years later, okay? So, if you look at somebody like George Lucas, who made Star Wars, well, what, like 20 years later, he made the prequels? Exactly, you know? It's not the same guy. It's the same guy, but it's not the same guy. So, it's gonna be different. I don't think it's gonna be, it's my prediction. It's either gonna be super like safe and by the book, and thus kind of boring in my taste. Like it's gonna be boring in my opinion if they do that. Some people will like it, but I'll be like, eh. Or they're gonna go because it's developer digital. They're gonna go all out and like push the envelope. And I hope that Ron Gilbert, because I played The Cave, never finished The Cave. And that's the game that I was super excited because that's the game that supposedly he wanted to make The Cave even before doing Maniac Mansion. Like he was working on The Cave game for his whole life, kind of, like from his teens, and then it became Maniac Mansion, but it was always there in his mind. And then he made it, and I played it, and it's a good game, but. Was no Maniac Mansion. It was not even close to being Maniac Mansion level, and it was definitely not Monkey Island level. Anyway. Oh yeah, it's gonna be overloaded. Dude, they start with. I don't think they start correctly because they go with the what's his name? The talking skull. What's his name? Not Mike. What's his name? I didn't finish it either. I thought it was a good game, but again, no Maniac Mansion. I didn't finish it, so that shows everything. And I rarely do not finish games. I got stuck a lot. And because I played the hard mode first, and I think that was a mistake maybe, I don't know. No, I didn't like it, really. Because if I would have liked it, I would have finished it, right? Unless I was playing other games, I was like, eh, it's not a good sign. I mean, is that game like super well respected? It's respected. But I think people like kind of soft with it. I think if it wasn't for Ron, people would have been like, it's too hard, or it tries too hard, or that's the I think it was trying too hard. Like, I don't know, easily forgettable. Maybe I remember it more than The Cave, that's for sure. I mean, there were memorable characters, like that programmer girl and the X-File kind of plot. I mean, I don't know what it was or what it wasn't. I lost interest, and that's it. And that was the end of that. We're still good in terms of health. Let's continue up. Let's see what's here. The clown. Yes, the clown. Yeah. Again with these guys. I don't think I can let it kill that. Maybe. Now that I leveled up. I can't even one kill those red guys. They're blue. The ward are the blue ones. The wolf have like, I was like 20 hit points or something like that. I should be able to one hit kill them. What are those? Okay. What's something going on here? Man, it's $1,000 this spell. The 3rd level spell. If I want 4th level spell, it's $3,000. 3,000 gills. Is it Jill or Gil? Gil? And the original one, pretty brutal. This remastered is much better because they give you more XP. Give you more XP. I don't know if they give you more cash, but the things are much cheaper. So for now, there doesn't seem to be a grind, or almost. I just explore and that's my grind. No, I mean if you watch me, you'll see. I don't really. We're just exploring here. I'm not grinding. If you think it's boring, my base thought Ultima 4 was way more. Ultima 5 was way more boring, and to watch, I think so. Just because the music and the graphics, this is so much more better to look at. Yeah, Magic U, Pure. And this is not a long game, so we're gonna be done pretty quickly. I like the story of these games. They're not your typical Dragon Quest, just go fight the princess. Go fight the princess. You know? But yeah, the first one, I think it was insane in the grinding, but I didn't give a shit back then. I did try to replay it when emulators came back because I never owned the game. And yeah, I thought that it sucked ass. I was like, wow, I used to love this game? What? And it was just a grind fest. It was just a grind fest. Yeah, exactly. It was intriguing for me. Like the goblins and the monster, all these different monsters. There was no Lord of the Rings back. There was that cartoon Lord of the Rings. It wasn't very popular. I mean, I played Dragon Quest before. This might be a dungeon. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is a dungeon. Let's just save, but I think I'll get my ass kicked. Are these mandatory enemies? Kiki! This might be not. This is not a dungeon. This is not a dungeon. Oh, I should talk to all of them in case. Mystic key, that mystic key, man. Everything is locked with that mystic key. Yeah, Garland is the first, your first boss. But he's also a very important character. No spoilers. Oh. I was tricked by Astos, king of the Dark Elves, and now my castle has fallen into ruin. If I could only retrieve the crown from the marsh cave, I would be able to restore my castle. Might you bring me the crown? Okay, so this guy wants the crown from the marsh caves. Should I write that down? I mean, it's not like this game has a log or something. I'll just open up like a little file here. A little text file here. Because the elf king was sick, need remedy, but I don't know. Cursed by Astos, the dark elf. And here, this king, I don't know what place is this. If I go outside, they might tell us. The map. Human location. Ship, Castle Cornelia. Chaos Shrine, Mateus Cave, Elven Castle, Alpine, Western Key. Oh, okay, West Key. King needs crown from Marsh Caves, is that it? Something like that. Yeah, this is not the Urk. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. If everybody attacks the blue one there, as soon as he's dead, everybody else is slashing nothingness, which is bad, quite bad. So you really have to. I think that's what I liked. Every single combat, you cannot do A. You have to everyone. What? That's what it does. 4 attacks with my feet, that's crazy. $1,000, you can buy 2 spells. I guess it's at the bottom here. We're not gonna end. We're gonna go to it. Like, that's how I do my grinding. I do like kind of useless walking. I kind of know it's at the bottom left there of the map, but I'm gonna go there anyway. Enter the cave, check it out, save just in case something happens. Go back to town, buy some stuff. Go back to the cave, enter the cave. run around the cave. I'm sure it's gonna be very difficult. Go back to town, and all while I'm doing that, I'm grinding. But I'm not just walking in a circle, you know? Yeah, these goblin guards. No, I don't think it's a problem. Whoa! Wow, that thief is just destroying faces. So in case you didn't know, it's a fighter at the top, then a thief, white mage, black mage. In this game you have the choice between the warrior, thief, monk, which was called black belt back then. I'm not sure the thief was called thief. White mage, black mage, and red mage, which sucks. But supposedly the white mage is the most suckiest of them all. But I couldn't do anything with the red mage back then. I tried. I think one of the party I tried to play the game with, because I'm not even sure I've ever like finished it from start to finish. Because I would go to my friend's house, we would play. He did lend me the game a couple of times, but did I really like do it from? I don't know. I don't think so. I would not bet on it. And I tried the red mage, and it's just what? Like when you get your level 1 magic, like you don't get enough magic. I can't remember what it is. Is it the number of magic, or you get your level 1 magic when you're level 20 or something? And it's like, who gives a crap? Yeah, let's use the magic. Oh, whoops. Wow. Marsh, so the marsh caves. Black belt, holy crap, totally forgot about that. Yeah. Black belt. Cause, like, I mean, they were right. I mean, me as a 8 years old, 9-year-old, what the fuck is a monk? A priest? Like, you know? So black belt. But the black belt doesn't become a ninja. It's the thief that becomes a ninja, right? The black belt becomes a martial art expert or something like that, I think. What the fuck is that? Is that the cave? Wow, that's weird. Kiki! Were there really bats like that running around? I don't remember that. I'm gonna go buy 2 spells. I still don't know what spells I'll buy. Maybe I'll be able to buy more. Let's use some spell. Where's this one? Attack? Yeah, let's go with you. Do it before it attacks. Come on. Come on, Black Mage. Yes! Temper. Let's see, is that good? Whoa! Holy shit. Maybe I should do it on a White Mage instead. Let's try Thunder on this guy. I mean, even the magic is kind of lackluster. It should hit for 200 damage, holy crap. That was one attack? Oh, we have to go around. Holy crap, okay. Yeah. I discovered a cool new video game store Saturday and got Mech Assault 1 and 2 for $5 each. Yeah, not a fan of the Mech Assault games. I mean, I'm sure they're fun games, but when they came out, I was like, wow, they really dumbed down the Mech Warrior series. Yeah, let's go with Temper again. That kicked ass. These guys are tough. Silence. Sleep?
What is this shit?
Oh yeah, I know the people love this game, so I played it for a couple of minutes, not more than that. Wow. Oh yeah, these other ones. It was Ogre and Giants? Something like the back row guys were much easier. Yeah, it's doing good. Oh, we can go diagonal in this game. Oh no, I couldn't advance you. I've heard that the job system was created by a guy that it was his idea, and that's why it was in Final Fantasy II. And that guy did the Saga series, I think. Something like that. I don't really like the job system. I like my characters. Final Fantasy 4, 2, whatever. Final Fantasy 4 is the better balance for me. I don't know which I prefer, 4 or 6. But for each character in 4 is completely distinct and his own thing. In Final Fantasy 6, some characters are kind of interchangeable. They don't really feel like, you know, I mean, Rosa or something. Final Fantasy 4. She's a weak character. She's good with the arrows. The arrows are kind of special. They have like kind of, you can have ice arrows, fire arrows, stuff like that. She's a cleric. Your own character goes through a kind of a job system. Like you have like a monk, ninja character also. He doesn't do magic at all. Like some characters do not do magic. The characters that do magic, they do that type of magic and that's it. With the summoner, does like black magic summons, you know. It's really nice. They're really that's that character. And when you lose that character, when you lose Rydia, is that it? Which is the black magic summon character, it's kind of like, no, my summons, you know. Oh, my black magic. I think you get another character with black magic, but sometimes in the game where you're stuck with what the game gives you, and I like that. Some character, without giving any spoilers in Final Fantasy IV, some characters just outright die, and that's it. Or they go away and you never see them until like the end of the game, something like that. Some characters you think are dead, they're not dead. It's just all over the place and I like it. It's always like shifting. Your character change all the time and you have no control over it, and I like it. Because when in Final Fantasy VII, and even started with Final Fantasy VI, where, yes, because in Final Fantasy VI, I was thinking, why in Final Fantasy VI it's interchangeable? Because you equip the summon teach you the magic. So you can teach any magic to any character, and that kind of breaks the thing. Final Fantasy VII goes one step further, where almost every character, there's better magic user than others. But every character can be a mage, every character can be, it depends on what the junction, what the junctioning system. Final Fantasy VIII, no, that's the junctioning system. Final Fantasy VII is the thing, it's the materia. But materia junction is the same shit, okay? It's literally customizing your character on the fly right now, and you can switch it up like easily without no cost, and that for me just completely breaks the game, because what makes my character where you can just take your materials from one character and just boop boop switch them to Now she's my. It's in when I play Final Fantasy VII. It's always there's the fighter. He has like 4x or whatever counter attack stuff like that. You have my healer and you have my black mage who does also most of the summon. Because once you equip somebody with black magic and summon, it also boosts his magic. So doing a character that does everything in Final Fantasy VII is kind of, it's counterproductive. You need to maximize your, if you want a magic user, put all your summon on it and a couple of black magic or something like that, and then it'll be good at magic. Anyways. So every Final Fantasy has kind of a problem, and that's why I kind of tend to say the best one, the most balanced is Final Fantasy IV. Because I don't think it has any problem at all. It has no problem, Final Fantasy IV. The Japanese version, I guess, is a little grindy. The US version is not grindy at all. There's no grind. You can literally finish the game just by doing it. I guess I should buy this. Attack plus 13, but what do I have right now? That's not plus 13 what I have, you know? I might have plus 12 at this point. Plus 10, plus 10. But yeah, plus 3 attack is kind of huge. This guy hits like a motherfucker also. No cell. Yeah. So in terms of black magic, we have Fira, Old Thundera, Fukara, low evasion. We just have barely enough money. Okay, I'll just go outside a bit. Just to be able to buy 3 spells. Okay. Oh yeah, temper on you. Let's try it on her. That's not 200 damage. But we'll see how Flo attacks now. Ow! Wow! Okay. Yeah. Oh my god! She's dead. Oh, fuck off. I went outside to get some money. And that's happened. Great. Wow, this gave me 600 gil? No, I have 600. No, it gave me 600. Holy crap. Okay, I don't care that she died then. Even if it's 200 to revive her. Oh wow, these guys give a lot of money. It's 200! Oh wow. That's quite something. The last time it cost 80, so that 200 was just a... I just guessed it. It was a guesstimate. Okay, let's say... Oh, I have enough money to buy the 3 spells. White magic... Where's the white magic? Because there's at least 1, if not 2... Yeah, there's 2 great spells here. Cura and Heal. Heal, which is not Antidote. We still don't have any Antidote spell. I guess with 1,000 I'll buy one spell for my mage. Fira or Thundera? Let's go with Thundera. So they went with the Curaga. That was introduced to me in Final Fantasy VIII, I think. Final Fantasy VII wasn't using the... Whoa. I just realized there was some equipment I could have bought. We'll see. We'll see if we're able to do that. And if we're not, we'll just come back. There's no spell to just come back, and it's quite a walk. I have some tents though. Yeah, I always forget. Because they didn't... I'm pretty sure that, you know, tent existed in the original. Yeah. But you didn't have Phoenix down, so if somebody died, he died. Okay, we're getting stronger here. Yeah, item. I have 2 tents, which is not a lot. It will have to do. I'll try to not use one until I get out of there. Let's go quick battle. Oh yeah, I kind of skipped over that fact that this game has a quick battle option, which is kind of nice when you're attacking just normal enemies. I wouldn't recommend that on everything. I should have bought a bunch of potions. I'm ill-equipped to do this then. Maybe this cave is gonna be just a little, like, super tiny cave. Let's hope. Oh, there's a good potion. I wonder if the original was a hole. I don't remember that. Caves were just caves, you know. Okay, Marsh Cave. And we do have a map, so... Green slime. Damage. Okay. Oh, I need to use magic against them, maybe? Oh, this guy got poisoned? Oh, 47. But that was a critical hit. Wow. Yeah. Wow. They don't give XP, they don't give Jill, whatever. Oh my god. I have 10 antidotes. know, let's do that. I can't use all my magic on these guys. Well, that wasn't enough. Okay, these guys are not. It's only the green ooze maybe that they're very magic susceptible. Maybe these guys is the opposite. It's always like that with ooze or slime or whatever. Oh, there's a second level here. Okay, these guys are not a problem. And I can't use a tent here. No, 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 no. Let's go back to the first level. Wow, that music is epic. Oh yeah, these guys. Shadow. Oh wow. Oh, and darkness. Level up. Oh, I can run here. It's only on the overworld I can't run. Okay. I should have bought like 3 tents or something, so I can use magic. Now I'm afraid of using magic. Guess I'll need the mystic key here. Yeah, like I've been playing all the Ultima games, like not one after the other, but if you've been following me, you know that I do the things that I say I will do. No, I don't need to heal this guy yet. Oh my god. Are these B2 connected? Let's finish exploring that level 1. Yeah, I'll finish exploring level 1, I'll go back to town. It's what I should do anyway. This isn't so hard, but if I want to be able to buy all these oh, this looked like a secret passage, but no. So if I get some green ooze, I'll use some magic. Oh yeah, I love these skeletons. I love the sprite of these skeletons. Used to love it when I was young. Like, wow. Well, that's what I like about Final Fantasy games. And I think I talked about it when I played Final Fantasy Mystic Quest. Is that, because it was a fact, even in Mystic Quest, it's that not every, but a lot of the enemy sprites are in action sequences. Like the skeleton is just not standing there like that. He's not even like just with his sword like that. No, he's in some pose, you know? Some epic pose. It also made it that when I was young, I would look at some of these sprites and sometimes couldn't even figure out exactly what they were going for, because they almost too much detail, and some weird pause, so sometimes I was like, what the fuck am I looking at? And it did that even in Final Fantasy 2 and 3, like 4 and 6. So yeah, I should go back. How much money? Wow, I only have 1,500. I need potions, I need stuff. Wow, 16. She sucks. She hasn't got a weapon. We didn't buy a weapon for her in a while. She's had that armor for a while now. Are you the paralyzed guy? Let's use fire. Undead usually fire is pretty effective. Ah, 200 bucks, nice. Last one, let's go with battle. Wow, 147. The difference between the attack power of the fighters and the mages is incredible. Okay. Yeah, what we need to do is buy a shit ton of items. Which I didn't do when I played these games. Even recently, when I would play Final Fantasy 4 and 6, well, a little more when I was at Final Fantasy 6, but the first time I played Final Fantasy 4, I didn't use items as much as I should have. Last time I played Final Fantasy 4, I used a lot of items, and I was like, oh my god, this game is way easier now. I have a bunch of these ice swords. Just throw them at the enemy. Fuck it. No, we're fine. Yeah, let's see what there is here. Yeah, copper armlet for her, and that's it. Oh, the copper armlet was instead of the copper armlet is body. I thought it would be arms. The item store. Oh, it's on my map. Okay, how much is the tent? 160? Oh wow, that's cheap. Yeah, let's buy a bunch. Partially restores But this is way too expensive. But it's only partially. Partially the MP, come on. This is only HP. Cure Stone, Cure Silence. I have none of those. I'll buy a bunch of those instead. Okay, we're filled up. Cool. Two of these. Is this a difficult one? Ogres? No, I don't think so. Yeah, these guys are fine. Okay, yeah. Okay, we'll save before entering this. I'm gonna take a little break and we'll be back in a couple of minutes. Stay tuned.
You're wrong. This universe is just as real as yours.
What force wrought this destruction? Mother, father, slain as they sleep. The town has the stench of death and demons upon it. By their souls, I swear vengeance on these creatures of the underworld. Enter if you dare.
Let's go up this time. Oh, I guess we'll be using some magic. Try fire. Yo, base, good evening. How's it going? Yeah, magic. But we're gonna finish this guy normally. Ah, yeah, there you go. Yeah, I can run. I can run! I can't get used to it, you know? It's engraved in my mind that I need to grind this. It needs to be slow. Wait a minute, base. I need to check out this very important comment here. Oh, I need to remove the space. Such helpful. So helpful. When I stop, I don't know, I played 4, then I played 6, because 5 didn't exist back then. Then I played 7, and I played 8. Then I must have played 5 in there. And I played 9, and I stopped at 9. But I did watch my friend play 10. Yeah, I guess 9, but the last one that I really liked was 8. I wasn't really a fan of 9. I mean, it does really good things. I talked about it at the start of the stream. But it was maybe too by the book. And the story was forgettable. I can't really remember. It was not fucked up. And I like fucked up stories. That's why I love all the Final Fantasies. They all have really fucked up stories. That made no sense, like no sense at all. I think it's kind of funny, and that's why I want to play Final Fantasy. We're gonna mock these movies, these games. Just attack. I guess she has a magic here. It's in the cure. I want to keep my cure though. Ah, fuck it. Uh-oh, paralyzed. That's not good. They're trying to flee and they're missing. Oh, out of paralyzed. I don't know how that works. Yeah. Oh, I need to check something out. Oh, it's fun because with this game I don't have to focus the window. I can actually do stuff on the side and don't have to have the window focused on it. I want to see the list of status effects, you know? Final Fantasy statuses. I want to see the animate. Not stone. Like the sprite. There's one thing in these boards I ate. The fact status effect have almost no visual indicator on enemies. Yes, you are correct. It is so weird that they didn't. I don't know. I don't know what that status element, if it's... it looks paralyzed. It doesn't stay, so I can't shake it here. During the break I remembered what's up with the crown and the king and all. It all came back to me. These gargoyle kinda suck. Looks like insect gargoyle, or I don't see the face. Maybe if I go like this, oh, I can't see a thing. Gargoyle. What do I mean by gargoyle? Oh, I'm not. I need to be focused to do this though. Okay. Level up zest. A potion and 1120 gil. Nice. Oh, I'll need to use magic here. I don't need to, but it works. Yeah. I think I'll just go auto battle. It'll take a while. They don't hit for too much. Oh no, 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 no. Nah, auto battle does that? Okay, fuck that. Use spells if I auto battle? Well, now we know. Interesting. It's gonna work. He's gonna die eventually. Yeah. It's not so bad. Oh, there's a door here. guy hit for a lot. Nice, lots of money. What the fuck was that? Oh, he's poisoned? He's poisoned! That's the sound of poison! I don't know what that sound was. It's so weird. Whoa, 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 whoa. Not done with this place yet. Please don't die. Don't die. Oh my. I want to be sure that she doesn't die. No! Oh man, that is bad. Ah, fuck, I need to reload. Shit! I can't reload. Oh man, that sucks. It's been a while. Start healing some people when they're below 100 or close. A little HP. I think it's gonna go max out this guy. No, it doesn't. Okay. I have the original like sheet here of the enemies. Let's see what's the deal with these scum. Oh, I can't read it. Why is it so small? Lich, Rock, Bane, Braxton, Bless, Quick. It does magic, but it never does magic on me. It was called Scum before. Just Scum. Scorpion was Scorpion. Yeah, that's the enemies were not named the same. What about those werewolf? Werewolf. It was called Werewolf. Jesus, indeed. 13-2. Is it 13-1-2-3? But there's also a 12-1 and a 12-2. There's another one that has 2 parts. And the second part came out like afterwards. Or was 0.5 or something? We did this. No, we didn't. Okay, let's save again. Everybody's okay in terms of health? Yes. Okay, we're back where we were before I died. X2, yeah, exactly. X2. Of all the fucking Final Fantasy. No 4-2 or 6-2, no. 10. Oh yeah. People love Final Fantasy 10. People did. They really. Did people like Final Fantasy 10? No. Maybe. In terms of the combat, yeah, the combat was kind of nice. But damn, that main character sucks ass so much. Like, you thought Squall sucked? Meet Titus. At least Squall is emo. I mean, he has that running.
Is this shit?
Indeed. Was that an intentional what is this shit? Or was that shit? Final Fantasy X is shit? Oh, I remember my friend just calling me and talking about Final Fantasy 13 and it was all just a big corridor. The whole game. Dude, the whole game is a fucking corridor! And I'm like, oh, I believe you. And I'm like, I'm like, nah. Are you sure? Come on. Sometimes there must be some. He's like, I mean, I'm not kidding. He's like, there's a crossroad, but it just jumps. There's no. It was like, no. Okay. No, and I don't understand what's going on. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Print to strike these shadows. So freaking linear to the max, because yes, Final Fantasy has always been very linear, right? What the fuck? It's like one of the least linear of all the JRPGs I know. I mean, there's maybe Chrono Trigger, right? Chrono Trigger is pretty linear. But yeah, one of my favorite Final Fantasy IV, it is very linear. There's a couple of side quests, but it's pretty much do that, and then that. But they are open, all of them. And Final Fantasy VI is a marvel in terms of openness, at least for the time. In terms of JRPG. Because in terms of CRPG, not really. So yeah, we're gonna use Attempt. I did use some magic, so it's gonna fill me out, maybe. It didn't even fill out... No, it didn't... Wait. 4 out of 7. Wow, 4 out of 7. No, it didn't fill me out. I don't even... Did it give me one? One of each? Did it give me MP? It didn't seem to give me any more MP than what I already had. Imagine if I would have played it on the NES. You know what? I would have. I was about to play it. And I literally realized, oh my god, there's the Pixel Remaster. And then here we are. So if it wasn't for the Pixel Remaster, you would see me... You might be seeing me play Final Fantasy 1 again. Well, one of the reasons I played Final Fantasy 1 here, like at this moment in time after Outcast and before Ultima 6, is that I know that with this Pixel Remaster the game won't be as long. Maybe I wouldn't have played the NES version now, but if you go back a couple of streams a couple of months ago, I did say I was interested in going back to the Final Fantasy series and play them like I'm playing the Might and Magic series and the Ultima series, and I did Daggerfall, Arena, Daggerfall, Morrowind. I don't think I will be playing Oblivion or Skyrim, at least not in the near future. I wanted to play Skyrim, I wanted to play Morrowind, so that's why I decided to play the two other first. Then why not? You know. Firaja and Firaga, I was like, this is too much. Well, that was Final Fantasy VIII, but that was the same. This is the same. It's Fire, Fira, and Firaga. Instead of Fire 1, 2, 3, it's the same. Rez is like, as soon as they started saying Fire, Firaga instead of Fira 3, I was out. Fuck that. Yeah. I mean, Fire 1, Fire 2, Fire 3 is kind of meh. I was always like, they can't... So I thought it was refreshing when in Final Fantasy 8 they changed it. I think it was 8. No, I can't do that. No, I can't save here. Esunaga. Just Esuna. Esuna wasn't a thing until like 7 or something? It was always Cure for healing and Heal for curing, you know? Because I did say that in chat, one of you guys said I was correct. And that I'm not perfect in the English language, I don't know all about the English language. But I'm pretty sure that you heal your wounds and that you cure poison. But it has always been the opposite in the old Final Fantasy, in the original translation. Cure was HP and heal was poison. And I think that is incorrect. Am I correct in that assumption? Oh, we're back here, yeah. It's gonna use some magic again. I think you're right. Wow, and you're an American. This is your blood. This is it. And I think you're right. Holy shit. Original Final Fantasy 1 in North America was Cure for HP, Heal for group healing, Heal Potion for healing, and Pure for poison removal. Okay, yeah, that's possible. I don't remember. I haven't played it in years and years. Thanks for clearing that up. I just remember Final Fantasy 4 and 6. I'm pretty sure that Final Fantasy 6 was what I said. Final Fantasy 4 also. I'm not 100% on Final Fantasy 4. I guess I'll use some magic. Sometimes cure is for curing, sometimes cure just doesn't work. Esuna? Maybe? Wow. Possible. Now that you mention it. The last time I played Final Fantasy IV was like a Japanese retranslation. So I'm not the best. I haven't played that game since like 94 or 5 or something like that. If you look at the Wikipedia, you realize how close this game came out in America. How close this came out from Final Fantasy IV. So when 4 came out, of course it was like, it's not even like a debate. What are we gonna call this new Final Fantasy game that we're porting to the US? It's like Final Fantasy 2? It's like 2 years ago. It literally came out 2 or 3 years after this game. Final Fantasy 1. Just Final Fantasy 1. It says 87, but that's in Japan. Okay, you need to use your memory, but if you're like me and you can't, you have to check another source like this, which will tell you that the North American release of this game came out in 1990, which actually kind of blows my mind, and it's like, it does not compute, but 1990 this game. And Final Fantasy 2 was 92 or something like that. It's just crazy. It was 88! No, that's Final Fantasy 2, the real Final Fantasy 2. I need to check out Final Fantasy 4. 91! 91! What the fuck? In North America! November 91, but 91! That is just... this is just blowing my mind. I expected 92. And maybe the end of 92. 91! Of course it's gonna be Final Fantasy 2, it's not gonna be 4. Americans gonna be like, what the fuck? Whoa, we've been missing something, we missed something here. What the fuck is going on? And even if they would have called it Final Fantasy The Crystal Chronicles or something, why would they do that? This Final Fantasy just came out a year before. A year. That doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Wish there's a way to change the OG version. Well, there's multiple ways to change everything, dude. This is the future. You can mod it. This game is moddable to hell and back. Like the way it was in the NES times to all in between. Look out for the Pixel Remaster Discord. Just Google it, it's pretty easy to find. And then you have the original one, which is also modded to hell and back with emulators. But if you have something like what I have, which is an EverDrive, you can actually play it on original hardware. So you wish, I wish there was a way. Your wish has come true years ago. And off he goes to the Googles. I don't know. VJap translation? Yeah, something like that. It was a Japanese version. Because it was like the one with like 6 skills or something. Like everybody has one bonus skill. Which makes it even better. Like I thought Final Fantasy IV had distinct character. Now you have like one more skill that in most of the time is useless. Hey Ozzy, how's it going? Hey, it's been a while. How are you doing? I'm doing great. Okay, these antidotes. This is starting to be a problem. Ocean, we need to find that crown here. I have COVID. I'm sorry, I don't want to laugh, but and it's just funny, you know. I'm like, hey, it's going great! I'm glad to hear it, I have COVID. I had COVID too. We all had COVID. Cure... No, just attack, just magic on this guy here. I mean, the last like the last winter, like just a couple of months ago, here at least in Quebec, great surge, like everybody got it. Oh yeah, I can just hit these guys, so it's kind of normal at this point. Jab, no jab. I won't go into that debate. I don't think it matters at this point. Maybe it did at some point. The virus has evolved. You don't get tired of this music. It's just too good. No need for magic, you just hit it till it dies. Yeah, let's do some cure, I just want to be sure, I don't want to die here. Yes, yes. I'm a machine! You didn't know that? I need to count how many games. I finished on stream. That's only the games I finished on stream. Can you, like, how many games I finished in my life? So when I say, like, when I started streaming, I would say I think I finished like more than 1,000 games, and maybe like, I know it sounds crazy, 10,000 doesn't make any sense, but just count the number of games I finished just these last like 4 years. That's nothing. I used to play more games than this, you know. I used to have more time to play games. This is not my. I could be more of a beast here. I used to play more RPGs, but I like the way I do it right now. It's kind of, this is a way to kind of control my addiction, kind of. Like, instead of playing long ass RPG, I kind of switch it up. So I have always like other games, and it's fun because now I'm counting the days till I play BattleTech. I do like my BattleTech. Too bad I never completed Morrowind. I did complete Morrowind. What are you talking about? Like, potion. Wow, where is that fucking crown? Yeah, that was the longest game I played. That was long, but you know, it wasn't like it didn't went faster. When I played it, it was what it was. But now that it's done, it seems like it was years ago. It's like there's so many other games. I think I have to go through this. Like, in the grand scheme of things, it was nothing. I was like, oh my god, am I gonna play Mario? So now I'm kind of not afraid to go into the Ultima games and other long ass RPGs because I know I can take it. That's the reason I decided to stream Cyberpunk. Because I was like, fuck it, I think I can do it. I can just stream Cyberpunk. It'll take a long while, but we'll finish it. And I finished it, and I played pretty much, I did all the missions, and I didn't beeline it like most of the 5 antidotes. We really need to do something here. I should have done a little more of these Cura. This might be it. Oh man, fuck you. So let's use, in February I was made redundant. Aren't we all? You were made? No, you were already redundant, you just didn't know yet. I'm sorry. But that's just the way it is. I mean, at this point, I said that a couple of years later, but this is more important than ever. If you can do freelance, if you can be your own boss, if you can say fuck off, okay? I'm gonna do a service, and the guy I'm doing the service or selling the thing or whatever I'm doing to is gonna pay me, and that's it! No 66 in between, just you do your job, the guy pays you, and that's it. People should do that. People should just do that. I keep saying to people that like had to quit their job or had a problem because of the pandemic, so I tell them, what do you do? So one was a nurse, and well, it's not a nurse, it's more complicated than that. And I said, could you do that? Could you do that? Like, could you like go to like elderly people's houses and do the same thing? And she was like, maybe. I'm like, think outside the box. Think it. You know, what you think would be a good idea, somebody's craving it. You just don't know it yet. Well, I'll pick on Ozzy Day. What? I'm not. I'm picking on you now? Okay. I started applying for other IT job, but because of lack of technical knowledge, I don't make it past second interviews. However, I had the last laugh. I have just had the job offer that will make me. Whoa! Well, there you go. You know, if you search enough, somebody will find value in you, or you'll find value in yourself. You'll make it work. Unless you're completely depraved of any skill whatsoever, then I guess you're fucked. Then I guess you can't just sit on your ass and do nothing, and depending on in which country you are, you might still be okay. Maybe a cure on everybody? Yeah, that'd be nice. I don't oh, heal is the entire party thing. Yeah. How's that work? Okay. Again. Okay. Copper armlet. Wow, this dungeon is more epic than I thought. I couldn't do interviews. I can't do interviews. I'm not a people guy, even though people say when I work for them, like when I repair computers, they say that I'm very relatable, they can talk to me, we can talk, there's no like in between, it's very friendly. And that's the way I like to work my thing. I mean, it's wouldn't that no, I want a robot to come and repair my computer or my refrigerator. No. I don't want no robot. I want a human being that we can joke and have some fun, and I can learn something, you know? Because I do kind of teach my clients how to work things out. The spreading of knowledge. It's important. Man, this is a huge fucking dungeon. I will have to go back up, I think. And they keep throwing these fucking enemies at me that I don't need to use magic. It does help. It's been great. Yeah, it's been great. And apparently, it's been great, but I don't make a lot of money. But that's not a problem. I don't care about money. I care about being happy, and I am. So, and apparently, according to the government, because I did my taxes, they're not over, but almost. I'm not doing my own taxes because I suck at it. Even though lately I was saying I needed to do the taxes. It was mostly preparing the paperwork to bring to my accountant so she can do my taxes. And yes, I have an accountant because I can't do this shit. I can't do it. I'm so happy because she does her job so well. Because now apparently I made so little money this year doing my job and being okay. I mean, I survived. I'm fine. I have a house here and I'm okay. So what's the big dealio, you know? And apparently I made so little money that they're throwing money at me because they're happy that I'm not engorging their system, I guess. Oh my god. I'm not gonna tell the amount, but it's a good amount. Oh yeah. Oh man, antidote again. That will be my death. The antidotes. That's the item I needed to buy. Antidotes. Oh! I'm still technically okay. Maybe I should start fleeing from enemies just so I can... Oh, the Mystic Key. So we'll be back in this dungeon? Oh man, I need to write it down. Marsh, caves, need Mystic Key, basement 3, southwest. For holidays, you mean what? Like holidays are gone. You mean for summer? Isn't holidays like holy days? For summer, no. I have no plans for the summer. No. I'm a very simple guy. I don't need much to be happy. I don't need to travel or have a lot of stuff. I like traveling. So, a bit of a heal again. Or just using... I have a bunch of potions here. Oh yeah, these potions are really good. Mystic Key. Mystic Key. So it's all the south doors. Mystic Key again. Oh my god, this is a huge dungeon. Oh no, not these guys. I think these are the guys that poison me. Feels lightning to all enemies. Fuck it! Yeah! Good stuff. How much money do we have? Whoa! 12,000! Okay. Uh-oh. Antidote again. So it's... Mystic Key. Mystic Key, Mystic Key. Okay. No, it fixes all the bugs, of course, of the original. There was a bunch of them, little tiny things that most people don't even know. Like, most people don't even know still that in Final Fantasy VI, the original, the SNES version, any card, any original card, any version of any original card that you played, the blind spell, darkness didn't do anything, and what was another thing? There was some thing about magic defense. Yeah, kind of like huge stuff, you know. But this is not no, this is not the same. For example, oh, this doesn't matter. Enemies in the original would have like kind of a set pattern of attack because NES. So, for example, this slime thing would do attack. And then second round would do magic, and then attack, and then magic, attack, you know? Something like that. It had some set pattern, because they couldn't do random stuff. I don't know. And now it doesn't do that. They're more intelligent. I don't know how intelligent they are. So here it's yeah, this is a problem, because one of these two spiders will definitely poison me. Or high chance of poisoning me. So let's attack them first. Now this guy is poisoned. Which tune? This is all Final Fantasy. So the thief doesn't suck in this one? The thief never really sucked. Unless you're talking about another Final Fantasy? The thief has kind of a weird curve because at the beginning of the game he's pretty good. Like this guy, and we're still kind of at the beginning of the game, the thief now is pulling his weight, he's doing good damage, he doesn't have a lot of defense, but he's doing good damage. The warrior is just, I mean, if you want to finish this game easily, just pick 4 warriors. I don't think it'll be a big challenge, but it won't be fun. The white mage kind of sucks, really a lot, but she can cure, so there's that. But the thief one, this is kind of a spoiler, but eventually they'll upgrade, and the thief becomes a ninja. And when I was young, we did a run with, well, me and my friend, he's the guy who mostly did it, but he did a run with 4 ninjas, and once these 4 ninjas became, well, the thief became ninjas. Oh la la. It was pretty crazy. Because this game works with number of attacks. So this guy does a lot of attacks. When you do haste or slow, it doesn't lower the. I don't think it lowers the. It can't lower the rounds because here the rounds are kind of like everybody attacks. There's no time or whatever. So haste and slow just reduces and augments the number of attacks. So you do haste on your fighter, and he does 4 attacks instead of 2 or something like that. So this little thief here has just a dagger. He has a scimitar at this point. It's kind of nice. It's not just daggers. There's a couple of things, like you can forget spells, which I didn't remember that you could do in the original. You couldn't do in the original. You bought the spells, you were stuck with them. Oh, the victory tune? Well, that's the victory tune from all the Final Fantasy forever and ever. So it's definitely not Pokemon, it's Final Fantasy. That's been the Final Fantasy victory tune since Final Fantasy 1. And I'm pretty sure Final Fantasy 15 still uses a remix of that tune, but it's still the same. Yeah, that's not Pokemon. I know nothing about Pokemon, so maybe it is. But if it is, Pokemon literally ripped it off from this. Because Final Fantasy came out before Pokemon, right? I hope so. Because now that I know that Final Fantasy 1 is kind of an old game, not in Japan, 87. 86 even, I think. 87 was the second game. Wow. Leveling up! Okay, we're starting to have a little bit of a problem here. I should have returned to the town before hitting that spot right here that I'm hitting right now. This is bad, I have no more antidote. You know what, let's go... Oh, maybe this is the one. And wow, that would be a really great coincidence. Oh shit. Oh, we're fucked. Okay, let's try this. Attack. Attack. Magic. Heal. Magic. Thunder Rock. Psycho Demon. Pisco. No, not Psycho Demon. Pisco Demon. Pisco Demon. Oh no, not the same guy again. Stop it. Oh wow, he just killed it. Yeah! Oh wow. We just destroyed their faces. Oh wow. Lots of XP, lots of cash. We obtained the crown. Wow, there's still some treasure chests to obtain here. Okay, we'll save. Let's use a bunch of potions. Now we need to get the hell out of here. Well, it's a tune that you've heard before, and if Pokemon is it's the butterfly effect. No, you're talking about the Mandela effect. Right, you are talking about the Mandela effect. This is dangerous. This might be a problem. Let's do Tandara. Oh yeah, he's the first who does it. Hell yeah. Good job, Daewoo. Let's save just in case. Okay, we're at the top now. Boom, level 2. Okay. Now from here. I think there's no more poison in this level. Once we're in basement 2. Uh-oh. Ah shit, you're right, you're from the dimension that it's not called the Mandela effect, it's called the butterfly effect. Holy shit. Oh my god. Oh, let's cure this guy. Boom. I thought it would completely heal the guy. It didn't. Let's go quick battle. Uh-oh. They don't die. Supposedly he stops at 1 HP, I guess. Wow. No, I'll reload. Fuck it. Even when I use my tent, it doesn't heal them. Antidote will be the potion that I need to keep. I need to buy 99 of them as soon as I can. I'm not even joking. I have 12,000 bucks, so we'll buy at least 25. If I can get to 50, I'll do it. Yeah, we'll just reload. It was right here, okay. Getting pretty high level just by exploring this cave. Oh shit, the guy is poisoned. So these werewolf poisoned me? Getting back will be a pain in the ass. Ah, shit. Okay, I'm gonna save a little more often. Yeah, no more, it's over. I'm never going back in the dungeon without proper antidotes. Does he have some magic here? Blizzard. Oh, fuck off. So these guys also poison me? Everybody poisons me. Yay! Same. Wow. Okay, back to level 1. Save. Why doesn't he use Blizzard like he used to when I did the... No more Blizzard? Oh fuck, that guy's poison. Every enemy that can poison me, wow! I'm not poisoned. Almost out of this godforsaken dungeon! Okay. Well, let's use a tent. Okay. Woo! Oh, this one dungeon was something. We didn't clear it out yet. It was 3 levels. And we did get the crown, but there's still some stuff we haven't explored, but I needed to get out. It was getting too dangerous now. I was running out of antidote. That's the reason I got out. Yeah, yeah, this is it. There's not like 16 dungeons in this game. There may be like 10 dungeons in the game, so they need to make them long. It's fine, this went well. I'm actually quite surprised how this game is like maybe it's later in the game, maybe it's another, because I know I did play a little bit of Final Fantasy 2, like the original 2. But I just remember that it was... You go in the town, you get the equipment, you go in the cave, you go in the next town, you get the equipment, you go in the castle, you get to the next town, you get your equipment, like rinse repeat. But this feels more open. It's not that open, but now we got the crown, we're gonna go back up to that guy. But first we need to go back here. And you'll see what will happen, so stay tuned for some development in the plot development. There we go. Now I have a shit ton of money. I can buy the spells that I wanted. There you go. Let's quick save just in case. I think we'll be able to finish this little chapter before the stream. Before finishing the stream. Okay, let's see what white magic I'll buy. Reduce fire damage by half. For now it doesn't really seem useful. Especially since I'm using Cura and Heal. You know what? No, I'm using Cura and Heal. This is $1,000. I'm gonna keep my money for level 4 spell, which I have access to. Let's see you. We bought this one. Lowers evasion. I don't think that's useful. Paralyze one enemy. Maybe that can be useful. Let's check the 4th level spells. Okay, no, before that. Buying a shit ton of antidote. Oh, wait a minute. Well, even if there is a spell, an Isuna spell. I'm sorry, I want to see white magic first. Okay. Okay, cures poison, so we're definitely buying this. Oh, it's 250. Okay, 2500. Yep. Drives enemy away in terror. Null thrust. Reduces. From what I heard, this spell is now useless because in the original game they had morale. Enemies had morale that could go up and down. And now it's just a random chance that they're gonna try to flee. I don't know why they did that. Cures silence. Reduces ice damage. So we're definitely gonna buy these two. Cures silence. You know, using the item would be more efficient. No? No, it's not that great. And it's expensive, so no, I won't buy it. Puts one enemy to sleep instead of everybody. Maybe more chance, maybe? This will look great. Doubles one ally's number of attack. That looks nice. I want to buy this. Yep. Confuse enemy to turn on each other. That confuses all enemies? I'm gonna buy Blizzara instead. Okay, and keep the rest of our money for the next town, because I'm sure stuff will be extremely expensive anyway. Let's go buy some items. Antidotes. Let's buy, I don't know, at least... $50. Fuck it. It's done. Eye drops, more. Let's buy... go with a round number. Here's stone. I mean, it's expensive, but... let's do it. We need more tents. Cottages are nice, but it's too expensive at this point. Let's buy 2 tents. We're good! Dude, that's the number one reason I had to get out of this fucking dungeon. Hey, have a good night, Ozzy. Yeah, no, I need 50 antidotes, fuck that. I came into the dungeon with 11 and I just passed through all of them, so yeah, I'm definitely buying 99 ones as soon as I can. Okay, we're gonna save here. Whoa, whoa, whoa. It was that fast? Yeah. I mean, 1 battle, 2 antidotes. I said, give me the brandy! You need to use the antidotes or you die. Well, you don't die, you can drop all the way to 1, but each move is -1 health. You can't keep your people poisoned. Have you ever Final Fantasied? Like, even in the original Final Fantasy, it's pretty important to have a bunch of antidotes, especially early in the game. Because even though, yes, you can use Esuna, that uses MPs, and you might want to use those MPs for something else. Even in Final Fantasy IV, you need those antidotes. I mean, there's not a... Maybe there's less poison. People use... There's less poison in the game, like less creatures that use poison. Yeah, I never finished Chrono Trigger. I played it twice, and twice I got, I think, very close to the end, and I just completely lost interest. I don't know, I'm not a fan of Chrono Trigger. Same thing with Earthbound. Never finished Earthbound, and again, not a big fan of Earthbound. You fools fell right into my trap. I am Astos, king of the Dark Elves. Oh, I didn't save. Well, we should be okay. Yeah, I remember this guy. What he looks like. I thought it was the weirdest thing ever. With the combined power of the crown you now hold and the crystal I already possesses, I will become the true Elf King. It is useless to resist me. I mean, it's just a bunch of pixel here. I can take what it... Well, when I look at the OBS preview, which is smaller, it looks better, but on my screen it's kind of a little too much stretch out. Whoop. Gigas, isn't that Final Fantasy IV? They seem to have changed this guy a little bit. Okay, so attack, magic, protect on you, magic. I mean, temper, ace, there's a lot of stuff I could do here. Let's go with double the number of attack of this guy. Oh shit! AKA Mother 2. Earthbound is Mother 2. Mother 1 was on the Famicom. easiest thing himself. 8 hits. That didn't do much damage though. Let's do temper next. Oh! Yeah, that was a little bit too easy. You obtained the crystal eye. Oh, I know where to go for that crystal eye. So again, not really linear. Well, linear in the sense that I need to go someplace, but they don't tell you what to do or where to go. But on the map here, the Matoya cave, there was a guy here that was looking for his glass eye. Like, I don't even remember in the original how we figured that out, because I sucked at English back then. I knew it a little bit, and my friend didn't know zero, so I don't know. He's the one that pretty much played the game. Okay, but... Okay, we got the eye, but we don't have the remedy for the elf. Maybe Matoya seemed like a mage of some sort, so I guess he's gonna maybe give us the remedy. She just healed everyone? Why she do that? Why is he doing temper all of a sudden? Are they at... Oh, they're just doing the last action I did. Yeah, they're... That's weird. So this auto battle thing is really, really, really cheap. It's just doing... So that's why I didn't use it when I was using the slime, because I thought the AI was using magic, but it wasn't. It's because I had used magic the second earlier. Like, if I talk to people in town now, will they say something different? Please help our prince. He says he's waiting for a prediction of the future. Maybe when you come, if you come back. Okay. I thought maybe they would talk about the fact that they killed the dark elf. Is it here, Metal Cascade? No. Oh, okay, yeah, I can go under this. This is some magic. Fuck it. Thunder Rock. This would be easy, these fights here. Okay, I think I'll save here. And when we come back... Oh, we've wrapped around the file, the save files. There you go, level 17. So we're gonna continue the game on Wednesday at 8 PM Eastern Time. I stream every day 8 PM Eastern Time. Tomorrow we're continuing Star Trek Judgment Rights. Let's raid Retrosexual is playing some Doom. Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a great night. See you next time. Doom on the PlayStation. Ciao.
Thank you for your cooperation. Good night.
I'll buy that for $1.